Hey, 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 looks like we are live. Let me just check this out real quick, make sure everything is good to go, and I will be right with you guys in one moment. Okay, looks like we are all good. So let me just get this presentation ready for you, and we will go into a really, really good Thursday night when you know what time it is. It is time for a live presentation here at Love Food Lifestyle, where I love to dive into the tips and tricks, the things in my life that I can share with you so that you can be more successful and happy. And the reason I do all these every Thursday night, I go live. All right, so if you're new here, push that subscribe button. Make sure you push that bell alert notification, because every single Thursday I'm going live. I also upload videos frequently, like 4 or 5 times a week, as often as I possibly can. And the whole reason I do what I do is to inspire and connect other people to live a long, thriving, and vibrant lifestyle filled with energy and passion. So if that sounds like something you want, if that sounds like something you're down with, you like, you're cool with, maybe you want to help people do the same thing, maybe you just want that in your life, push that subscribe button and come hang out with me every Thursday as we go live and I talk about the really important things that I've learned in my life and that I really, really need, not just want to, I need to share these things with you so that we can, grow together, learn from our mistakes, move forward, become better people, etc., etc., and really just crush it. All right, and that's what I want for you. That's what I want for everyone. So today, it's a strange topic. It sounds really weird, sounds like a contradiction. How and why to fail successfully. Now, fail successfully is not something you hear very often. It's not something that makes much sense when you say it, but failing successfully is super important, and after today's presentation you'll understand why and how this can actually change your life. If you learn how to fail, then you might actually get somewhere you never thought you would be in your entire life, and you might actually live a higher quality lifestyle and start to live that vibrant lifestyle that I try to show you how to live. And maybe you can just learn something new, and maybe you can become like the best version of yourself. So, oops, hang on. Messed up already, right in the beginning of the slide. See, talking about failures, then you accidentally hit a button and you fail right off the bat, right on the beginning of the webinar. No, but in all seriousness, guys, I really want to talk about this. Now, it's not that I feel like I have it all figured out or I feel like I'm successful today. I actually feel like I'm just getting started. Like I'm still very young. I'm still a baby in the game, and I'm not even getting started. Like I wouldn't even consider myself like coming through the dirt at all. If I was a flower that was blooming, like I'm not even poking through the dirt yet. However, I know that there's other people that wish that they were where I am today, working from home, having a family, having a place to live, a roof over our head, eating a healthy, nutritious, plant-based, organic lifestyle, working out every day, having a scheduled out day, having my own business, and working from home and spending a lot of time with my kids. People want those things. So I'm here to help you get to that point, but that in no means does that mean that I'm anywhere near feeling like I'm done. I don't even feel like I've started yet, and honestly, like I don't even know. Ask me when I'm like 60 if I'm done yet. I don't. I still probably be like, nah, I'm just getting started. Like I'm just that kind of person. I'm always trying to go and get more and do more and become more and more happy and successful and try and become the best version of myself. And I think that's what a big piece of that is what life is all about. But I was thinking a lot about what got me to where I'm at today, and that's what brought me to this presentation. Is like I failed so mmany times, like I can't even express to you the amount of times that I've actually failed. It's quite ridiculous. Like I was trying to write down all the times I failed so that I could make a really good presentation for you guys, and so that I could be entertaining and fun and show you guys everything. But it's literally too many things. Like like I got to like five things. I'm like, I don't think I could go more than doing like five failures. Like there's a lot of more failures than five. There's at least double that. There's at least 10 big failures in my life. And this might be one of the main reasons why I am where I am today. It's these failures that got me here. And it's also something really, 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 really important to know is that, maybe I don't know. This is where I kind of contradict myself, saying failures are important and you have to fail. But at the same time, most of the time, failures are just quitting too early. We're going to get to that more later on. It's just something that, you realize is that, like, if I didn't quit on things, if I just kept going in a lot of these areas of my life, I would probably be just as happy and in a really good position today. But something stopped me. It's something, maybe I was making excuses and that stopped me. Or maybe I was holding myself back. Or maybe I was creating barriers or obstacles that weren't even there. And that's how I failed. It's not really by, like outside circumstances. It was myself quitting on myself. So if you're listening to this and you feel like, you're still afraid to fail, just realize that from the very beginning is that there's no such thing as failure, because the only way you can fail is just by giving up on yourself. Like if you just give up, then you're gonna fail, right? So it's something just really, really important to think about. And I'm going to get into this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to outline my story. I'm not doing this because I want to sit here and talk about myself. These are actually the most embarrassing things in my life. I would much rather hide these things and never talk about them. But the truth is, I really do think that this might help other people with taking action and losing that fear of failure. And so I think it's important for people, a lot of people today, especially like on the online business world and in entrepreneurship or health and fitness or a lot of other areas, where it's like you're making content for online. They only show the good things, right? They're like, oh, this is me in a jet. This is me with piles of money. This is me with watches, me with Lamborghinis. And they don't talk about the failures. They don't talk about all the time they spent, all the projects they started that they couldn't finish, all the times that they started doing things, but they had to give up, and all the times that they failed, right? And so I think if more people start telling you about how they failed their way to success, it will become more normalized, and it will be important for people to hear that, like, it's not all roses and candy and butterflies and unicorns. It's just like straight up grit, grind, patience, and working hard, and a little bit of some willpower. Not a little bit, a lot of willpower, along with luck and a bunch of other stuff. So I really just want to illustrate for you how failures are important, and how hopefully my goal is so that you don't have to be afraid to fail, right? That's my number one goal, is you leave this and you say, all right, so I mean, like, it's not that bad if I fail. The only thing worse than failure is not getting started. And all these things sound kind of cliche, and I'm aware of that. And I think some of the stuff I say tonight might sound woo-woo, and it might sound hippie and like kind of strange, or kind of like, you don't have, like, non-factual, maybe not based in reality for some folks, right? But the point is that, failures are important. And, I just think that if more people think about this and they focus on instead lasting and having patience and moving forward and trying new things and taking action, I think it'll be helpful. I also think that this will be very, very helpful for people that have no idea what they want in their life. In fact, if you have no idea what you need or want in your life, or you feel stuck or lost, or you just don't know what to do, I really, really, really want you to stay for this entire presentation, because I think that's who I was really thinking about while I made it. And I think, I have friends, I have, a few friends, I could probably count a bunch of them, not to mention my like brother and sister-in-laws who are teenagers who they just don't really know what they want their life to turn out like. They're not very clear. They don't have clarity. They don't have purpose. They don't have passion because they're not knowing where they want to like find themselves years down the road, and they don't know what they want with their life. And that's a huge problem that we're seeing more and more with these kids that are coming out of college. And it happened to me too. I mean, coming out of high school, not college. When you come out of high school, basically in high school, you're just taking a whole bunch of generality courses. Like you're taking math, science, history, whatever, like a whole bunch of random stuff all at the same time. So when you get out, you have no idea what you like and what you want to dive deep on. You might know what you're good at, but you don't actually know what you like. So, when it comes to that, then you just go to college guessing basically like what you're going to do for the rest of your life, hopefully. And and the sad part is you have to pay, right? You have to pay all this money into it. So it can just turn really ugly really quick when people are getting out of college with a degree that they don't even like, but they just ended up in because they started it whenever, and they're like 60,000 plus, way plus. Some people are $200,000 in debt, and it's a serious issue in our country, and it's not talked about enough. And I feel like it's my duty, being someone that's pushing forward to help other people. It's my duty to bring this to the forefront and have the hard conversation and show you guys, how you can at least learn how to like what it's going to be like, and how there needs to be failure and uncomfortability for you to learn how to go through these transitions and these phases. And I wish some of this stuff was explained to me far before I left high school and went into college, because I would have saved myself a whole bunch of money, and I wouldn't have been in debt tens of thousands of dollars. So hopefully this can help more people in that age group. And people, I have friends that just don't know what they want. They don't really know why they don't feel fulfilled. They don't know why they don't feel passion. They don't feel happy, but they know that something's off and something's wrong, and they want to feel better. And this is for them as well. So hopefully you guys find value in this. If you do, comment below, like it, subscribe, all the usual stuff. And let's open up some conversation about this topic, because it's important, and I want to help as many people as I possibly can. That's why I do what I do. So let's move forward. How and why to fail successfully. So like I said, I'm going to start off I'm just going to tell you my story and how I failed my way to where I am today, and how I'm in a really good place today. A lot of people, I think, would want to trade with me, and I don't take it lightly. I wake up every day so grateful, constantly reminding myself and my wife how grateful we are for the life that we've been given. Having a roof over our head, having a job, and not only that, a job where I can work from home, being able to spend time with my kids when they're so young and watch them grow up and be a huge part of their life, not just like kind of around sometimes, but like always there, always able to help them, always able to change the diapers and help my wife, and it's a powerful thing. And I think that I've been blessed, and I got lucky, and a whole bunch of other stuff too. But it all started out when I was graduating high school, and I was like, all right, I don't really know what I should do, and I was pretty good at math, so I went for a math degree, right? And the reason was I was going to become a boiler inspector. And that's because that's what my dad is, and that's what my dad has been doing for, like, God knows, I don't even know, like 20 years, 30 years. He's been doing it forever. He's been doing it since before I was born. I'm the youngest in my family, so I don't know. My brother's in his 30s, so he's probably been doing it for like 30 years. And he has a good salary, lots of time off. My dad does it. So I thought like I would have an in. I would be able to get this really good job, and I would live my life super happy, making, six figures or whatever, making a good salary, and I would be able to move forward from there. So I went to community college, and all I really had to do was get an associate's degree in math. So, I started working towards it, and I took all the calculus, right? I took calculus 1, 2, 3, differential equations, took all those classes, passed all of them, took all the physics classes, right? I think there was like there might have been like 4 physics classes I had to take. I took computer science, and, all in all, I only had 3 classes left until I was going to graduate with a math degree. So, as you can imagine, my family got super frustrated and couldn't understand. I'm not sure they still probably don't understand. They're probably still frustrated with me when I decided to quit school after seeing a movie. Actually, this sounds so silly in retrospect, but I watched a movie and it really opened my eyes up to the way that the world works and all the power that I held within my own grasp that I didn't even realize I had before. So that's one thing that I really want people to take away is like the power's in your court, right? The ball is in your court. The power is in your hands to create your own life. And once I learned that, I was like off to the races. I never turned back. But the thing that taught me that, this may sound silly, it was the movie The Secret. All right? And I put next to it, is it bullshit? Because some people, or a lot of people say that movie is complete bullshit, complete not based in reality. It's not good information. It's not cool. So basically, their thought is that people say, oh, you can think about what you want, and then you'll have it, right? So if you think you want a Lamborghini, you can just think about having a Lamborghini, and then you'll have a Lamborghini, right? But they don't, it's not really like that. I would recommend everybody watch this movie for themselves and take it for what it is. Also realize it's a very generally based movie. Like, it's general, it's wide, it's broad. So there's many, many more pieces to the puzzle that you can learn after that movie. But this is kind of just the introduction to the whole idea of everything. So anyway, it made me just realize, it opened my eyes to the fact that there was more in life, right? So it may or may not be like sound information that makes sense, where it's based on reality. But it opened my eyes to the fact that there was more in this life, right? We don't need to be in line with everyone else, racking in student debt in order to get a job that pays well, and we don't need to have a boss telling us what to do while we're just, going through our day, waking up, hating our job, going to the job, coming home, trying to like have some fun, go out with friends, and then doing it all over again the next day. We don't need to go through that. So that fact alone really got me thinking and more open. Basically, this movie, the role it played in my life was it opened me up to more possibilities of life than the track that I was currently on. So instead of saying, all right, I'll just go get my degree in math and I'll go do this shitty job that my dad had, and I'll just, work and be kind of happy and make decent money. Instead, I was like, wait a second. So you're telling me I can create my own reality. I can create my own life. I can dream and I can chase those dreams. So whether or not this movie is based in reality does not matter, because it got me to wake up and dream and chase my dreams. And basically it gave me permission to act as if I could build my own life. And that's something I never had before. So, it was super powerful in my life, and, maybe it does that for other people. Maybe it doesn't. Like, I'm not trying to be biased or give false information. I liked the movie. It actually changed my life. And I know that there's a lot of other pieces than what they say in the movie. Like, for instance, persistence, hard work, luck, pushing forward, grinding, and all of those other things aren't really talked about much in the movie. But a lot of other important things like having the right mentality and being positive are. So once I realized that I could build my own reality, it changed the whole course of my life, and it made me realize this one thing that was super, super important that I would expect everyone needs to know is that even failing to chase my dreams would hurt way less than not chasing them at all. So this is where we're going to first start talking about failure, right? Failing to chase my dreams, like if I was failing, if I was chasing my dreams and I failed, that wouldn't hurt me as bad as not even chasing them at all. So I knew at that point that what I had to do was I needed to chase my dreams, and if I didn't, it was going to be painful for the rest of my life, and I would live in regret, and I would be in a nursing home at 90 years old, just upset that I never went after it. I never tried my best to create the world that I want to live in. All right. So that's really what this movie did for me, and that's it. So after that, that whole math degree thing, yeah, it didn't turn out too well because I quit. So fail. That's fail number one. I did not go through with the math degree. I quit. I still only have 3 classes left. If I wanted to, I might actually be able to pick up where I left off and get that degree and then take some crazy board test and end up being a boiler inspector. If I wanted to do that, I could probably do it within a year or 2 from today. But I do not plan on doing that at all because I realize that I would probably hate my life if that's all it amounted to. And I know that I can do much more than that. And I believe in myself a lot more than just signing up to have a mediocre job. All right, so that's the first failure that I had. And the reason that it's a failure is, like I said before, real failures only happen when you quit on things, right? So I quit. I said, I don't want to do this. And I had reasons that I thought were real in my head, so I quit. And that's a failure because I didn't succeed at getting a degree. I didn't succeed at getting a good, high-paying job where I had lots of time off at that time. So I failed. All right? So my parents, of course, hated me. Everyone was like, what the hell are you doing? Especially my in-laws. They were probably like, what is this guy doing? Like, how is he just messing around right now? But, it ended up working out. But we'll get back to that later. So the next thing that naturally happened, I don't even know how it came into my life, but I started learning about marketing, right? I started learning about network marketing, which is like pyramid scheme companies that I don't really recommend to anybody. And I started learning about branding online and social media and how to stand out and how to use sales funnels and how to write emails and how to copyright and how to create websites. And there's so much to it. I can't even touch on every single piece of it. But I was completely hooked and fascinated by it. I took courses, read books. I spent loads of money, guys. I spent as much on learning how to market as I did on getting a math degree. They're probably pretty equal at this point. I just spent a lot of money. I spent money on learning how to do Facebook ads, courses for that. I bought every book I could get my hands on. And it was for no other reason other than, I loved it. I just loved consuming this content and living, this life where I could learn more and more about marketing and how, psychology and what gets people to click and what gets people to buy and all of these amazing things that you can learn about, using the internet in order to make money, basically. And it opened my eyes to more possibilities. It gave me power. It really, really did, guys. It really woke me up to the fact that I could literally do anything that I wanted. Quite literally anything in the world could be mine. I could do it. I knew that I could do it. Once I knew how to market myself, I knew that whatever the hell I wanted to do in this world, I could do it. All I had to do was pick that thing and do it for a long time and market my ass off and work and grind. I mean, I'm not saying it would be easy. I'm just saying that with the skill set, with the passion that I have for marketing, that no matter what I picked, I could continue to market and learn and market and grow and basically put myself out there until I succeeded. So now, what did I want to do? And this is probably the first time where I actually got to think about that. And the very obvious thing is to say, well, I was in love with marketing, so just do more of that, right? But the sad truth is you can't really just start marketing about marketing, because then you're just some guy that peddles information that you already just learned but never used, right? So the facts were I needed to use the information that I was learning about marketing or about about putting myself out there, getting awareness, interest, getting people to take action, getting people to buy from me. I needed to put those tactics to use. I needed to try to grow a business online. So, I couldn't just grow a business based on marketing if all I ever did was read books and take courses. I actually had to build my own business in order to feel successful and in order to help other people. So that's when I decided to start a health and wellness blog. And it's because here's a few reasons that I used. I had lost weight myself in the past. People were asking me for tips and pointers. This is true. This is a picture of me in the bottom left-hand corner. You can see how chubby my cheeks are. I was fat, right? I was over 200 pounds by the time I was like 12 or 13, which is very young. I was very chubby. I was known as the fat kid for most of my life, right? So in my teenage years, late teenage years, 16 kind of, I was still fat when I was 16, 17, 18 years old, I was grinding and learning about health and wellness and learning how to eat healthy and learning how to use fitness and how to exercise in order to get a healthy body and, become the person that I wanted to be. So, and the truth is I worked so hard at it and I learned so much about what foods I should eat that I became very healthy. And it was just kind of part of my life up until this point when I learned about marketing that I said, you know what, if I put marketing and, all my love for business together with health and wellness, I can really do something cool. So I started my very first blog. It was called thrivinglion.com. And it was so fun. I was writing like daily. I was putting out blog posts daily, every single day. And I continued to love eating healthy and working out. And I kept just teaching more and more about the food that I was eating and about, about the lifestyle I was living and the working out that I was doing and everything like that. So the more and more blog posts that I put out, I was drifting away from it. And I have no reason. I have reasons that I gave myself at the time that were basically logical reasons that helped me talk my way out of it. But in the long run, I got lots of subscribers. Like, it was growing successfully. I'm talking like 20 subscribers a day, back-to-back days, which that doesn't sound like a lot, but back then, and when, I was first starting out on my very first blog, that was actually a real lot. Like, I wish I could get that kind of growth today on what I'm doing here, with Love Food Lifestyle as I've started over, but we'll get to that. Anyway, I was getting lots of feedback. I was getting lots of comments, lots of people subscribing so that they could receive more of my blog, and it was going very successfully. And then I lost interest. And the reasons I gave myself were that I was writing about negative foods, right? Meaning, like, I was writing about the stuff that you want to avoid, like watch out for this ingredient and watch out for that and watch out for this other thing. And I was writing about the corruption in the food system and how the media tricked us into all this stuff, right? And, it took its toll. I didn't want to be writing all this negative stuff all the time because I didn't want to think about it all the time because it was making me a negative person, and I just didn't really want to live that lifestyle anymore. And that's what I told myself at the time, and looking back at it, I was just a quitter, and I didn't have the patience or the longevity in order to stick with that project. So, I failed it, guys. I shut it down. I shut down my very first go at starting a business, and it was the first real failure that I had because I wouldn't have considered, giving up on my math degree a failure back then. This though, was a very real failure. Even though at the time I was like, I just don't want to do it anymore. Like, it's not for me, blah, blah. Like, looking back at it now, if I continued from that point to where I am today, I would probably be very, very successful and in a really, really, really good place instead of just a really, really good place. You know what I mean? Like, I'm in a good place. I'm in a really, really good place. But I would have been in like a really, really, really good place if I stuck with it from all the way back then. But it's good. I do not regret a single thing because of how things turned out. Like I said, I'm very grateful, and I think things happen for a reason. But anyway, I did not want to continue with that, so I quit. So that's failure number 2. So I wanted creativity in my life. I wanted to try something new. I wanted a challenge. I wanted to grow. So I tried stand-up comedy. Remember, I'm coming from this place of confidence. I knew that I could market myself. I knew that I could learn the business of anything that I put my hands on. I even thought that I could become a singer until I heard my own voice, and then I was like, oh my God, this is so terrible. I can't do this. But, like, I knew that I could market myself and I could build businesses. I knew that that's what I had a real passion for. So I also knew that no matter what I did, I could continue to do it because, whatever I chose, I could continue to do it long term because I would love the marketing of it and the business of it so much that I would just continue going. So I did stand-up comedy. I was like, I'm going to give it a try because it's different, it's hard, and it's fun, and it'll give me something to do. And I can market myself and I can be successful at this. Right? So I started doing stand-up comedy, and what happened was I loved it, right? I was good at it. I kept doing it for 6 months. I actually got phone calls to open up for sold-out shows. I opened up for a sold-out show that had I forget how many people, 500 or 1,000 people, something crazy like that. I did a lot of shows that had hundreds of people at them. I did a lot of different crazy shows, and I actually got a paycheck one time for doing stand-up comedy, and I kept doing it for 6 months, and I was traveling, up to an hour in order to get on a microphone, known as an open mic in the stand-up comedy world, and I kept doing it for 6 months straight. And if you don't believe me, I actually have a YouTube channel that still has my very first stand-up comedy show. I also have a bunch of videos where I was trying to market myself as a comedian. So I was creating these funny videos, skits and parodies and little funny videos in front of a green screen. And I did it for 6 months straight. And, it was a lot of fun. And looking back at the videos, I still look back every now and then and laugh at them. And they're funny and they're kind of cool. And people started knowing me as a comedian. And it was going really well. But then it just took its toll. And I realized it wasn't sustainable as a father and a husband. And that's, I wrote on this slide is that I realized it wasn't sustainable. But really, I changed the wording because I decided it wasn't sustainable, right? It was a decision that I made that I could not do it anymore. And, I basically quit on that really cool dream that I had, which again, you guessed it, is a fail. So, I still have a blast doing that. And actually, I got back on stage about a month ago, maybe 2 months ago. Couple months back, I got back on stage just for fun. I went with a group of friends, and it was really fun, and I missed it, and I got to do it again. So it was super fun and cool, and I love stand-up comedy. I love watching stand-up comedy. It has a special place in my heart, and I'll probably end up on a stage again doing stand-up comedy again eventually one day. But at the time, I just couldn't keep traveling and being away from my family and driving an hour away and an hour back and coming home at 3 a.m. just to do stand-up shows that weren't paid at all. So basically, I was spending money out of my own pocket to be away from my family so that I could pursue this dream that was going to, it's just crazy. These stand-up comedians, talk about, it takes years and years and years and years and years. So, 10, 15, I couldn't see myself having the longevity to stick with it for 10, 15 years. So that's when I quit. And that was failure number 3. I'm still so glad that I tried it. Like, so glad. Like, and this is where it comes to all those people, that feel lost, or they feel like they don't know what to do with their life, or they don't know what direction to even move towards, or they don't feel like themselves, and they're not happy, and they're not finding passion. What you need to do is you need to just try things. Anything. I'm telling you. Don't write things off so easily. Just look at things as if they're all the same. Pretend you have the power to create any reality that you want. And what would you do if you could start over from square one and do that? So I was thinking, like, I was a father, I already had a child, and I was a husband, and I was like, you know what, I could do stand-up comedy. I just wish more people had that type of confidence, and I wish more people went after their dreams and tried to do things, whether or not they were successful, because, it didn't matter to me if I failed. And to be completely honest, I did fail, like, a lot. I'm not even going to lie. Like, that's what stand-up comedy is, kind of. Like, you fail. Like, that's just how it is. It's so hard to get in front of a group of people and make them laugh. So when you do it, you end up just failing and not making anybody laugh, and you bomb really hard in the beginning. And then, I did get good at it, but there was way more times that I did terrible than there was that I did good. And so that's just a whole part of it, and it really humbles you, and it makes you realize that it doesn't matter if you fail. It matters that you're learning, that you're growing, that you're having fun, that you're trying things, and you're trying to find the thing that lights you up the most, right? And stand-up comedy lit me up, but it was just not sustainable for me, and I'm glad I didn't do it as well. I don't regret quitting it. I know that I did quit. Like, I'm basing it in reality. It's not that I realized something that I didn't know before. It was just that I realized that I would not be able to stick with this long term if I couldn't be with my kids as often as I'd like. So I quit. Now, what did I do next? What on earth could I possibly do? So I went from, all right, I love marketing, to, okay, let's start a health and wellness blog, to, screw this is too serious. Let's do stand-up comedy, right? I needed some jokes in my life. I needed some fun. I needed some creativity. And I still needed that creativity, and I valued it very high, even though I didn't want to do stand-up comedy. So I decided to become Mr. Creative, and I challenged myself to become more creative, and I vlogged the entire experience. It is here on YouTube. You can view it. You can see all of it. What I did was I took a creativity test, and I decided, over the next 30 days, I'm going to try and make myself more creative. So over those 30 days, I did all these different types of challenges and tricks and different things to make myself more creative. I did crazy things like made tie-dye hats to what else? I don't even know. I painted pictures. I made a wallet out of duct tape. I took creative pictures of things. I built towers with my, like, out of blocks. Man, what else did I do? I don't even know. I just kept trying to think of more and more creative things that I could do. And I took videos every single day for like 2 months straight of this process, right? So it started out with a creativity test that I scored crappy on, and it ended with a creativity test that I scored A++ on creativity in. So I was able to increase my creativity just by doing more creative things, and I had so much fun. And I realized that the most creative part was creating a vlog of the entire thing. Vlogging is actually extremely hard. If you're watching this, it means that you are on YouTube, and you probably also watch other people's vlogs, whether it's mine or it's Derek Simnet or it's anyone really. That's just someone that I think of, that because I love his vlogs. You guys might take for granted how hard it is to actually create a vlog and to take videos of your entire day and to add music and cut it up creatively and make it look fun and have fun and look cool, and you know, it's a lot more work than you might expect. And it took a lot of effort. I had to wake up early, I had to stay up late, and I had to grind through creating these vlogs every single day. And then I realized, or I decided, I always use the word decided because, you know, I don't like to say that I made decisions off things that I realized. Like, I looked at the outside world and made the decision. At the time, I might have said that, but it was a decision that I made. You know, I am fully responsible for my own decisions. So I decided that no one else really cared about being more creative. So this whole thing where I was like, I'm going to see if I could be more creative, and other people are going to follow it and see, and, you know, and like that, you know, I'm trying to be more creative. And if they want to be more creative, maybe I can help them, and blah, blah, blah. And then I realized I don't think many people look into how to be more creative. And I don't think that that's a niche that even exists. And I think it's just me, and I'm a weird dude. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. Comment below. Let me know what you guys think about being more creative and if it's even a thing. And so, yeah, basically I gave up on that as well. But, you know, again, all of these videos are online. It's insane. So basically, all of these endeavors, you can see them. Like, it's a good 5-6 years of creating videos and putting them on YouTube. And I did create different channels for different things. But this one, boom, failure. I quit again on something that I liked, something that I wanted to do. It wasn't getting the traction that I wanted. I wasn't as happy as I thought I would be, and I had to quit. So it was another failure. So if you're counting, I think that's failure number 4 already. And, you know, that's just that. So at this point in the presentation, I really wanted to just talk to you guys about failure and like don't be scared of failure. It's really not what you think it is. And the whole thing is, like, now that I realize what failure is through all of these things that I failed, I can't even name all of them, because the facts are that I fail every single day. Because when I'm in the gym, when I'm working out, when I'm exercising, I'm actually seeking failure the entire time I'm there. And that's how I get stronger and better and bigger, and my muscles grow. And it's because, so when I'm doing a set, I'll explain this to you guys, because this is a health and fitness channel, and I do pride myself on, you know, trying to create valuable content for health and fitness. So when I'm in the gym, I do a set all the way until, usually I do it all the way until I fail, right? I want to completely fail till I cannot do another rep, right? So if I'm doing pull-ups, I'll do as many as I possibly can. Say it's 10, say it's 15, say it's 20, all the way until I cannot physically get my body up one more time. And then I switch the grip so that it's a little bit easier. So if I was doing wide grip before, I'll do regular grip. And I do as many pull-ups as I possibly can until failure, until I physically cannot pull the body up one more time. And then I switch the grip again. And that's called drop sets, right? It's called, you know, you start out with the hardest possible thing, and you make it easier and easier and easier and easier. But every single rep you go, every single set, you go until failure. And so I'm seeking failure in every single set that I do in the gym. And I think that that's a really good way to work out. I also think that seeking failure in other areas of your life can allow you to open yourself up. It can allow you to become more ready and become more resilient and strong and powerful, and realize that the worst is not that bad, right? So I just want more people to think about this, and that's why I created this entire presentation. Is like, I failed so many times, and I still seek failure every day. You know, there's more stories than just this. Like, one time I was doing stand-up comedy, and I played out of college, and I completely bombed. I forgot every last word I was going to say. And I stood up there and I embarrassed myself hard for 5 minutes straight. And 5 minutes doesn't sound long until you're on stage for 5 minutes, and then 5 minutes is extremely long to not have anything to say and to be completely bombing. And the thing was that the room wasn't even dark. Like, I could see all their faces and they weren't laughing, and it was just like the worst experience of my life. It was so painful, and I'm so glad that it happened. I know that sounds really weird, but it makes you humble, and it makes you realize that, like, the world does not revolve around you, and it's not their fault that I wasn't funny. It's not their fault that I forgot every single thing I was going to say. It's my fault. And so it allows you to take your actions into your own hands and realize that you have the power to create your life. It allows you to just fail forward and know that it can get better, and it will get better. And all the failures of my life can't even be thought of all right now. Another project that I did that I didn't put on here is I had a really bad health failure directly after that creativity when I was Mr. Creative, and I failed that. The next thing that happened to me was, while I was being Mr. Creative, I actually got Lyme disease. And I made a video about this on this channel, and I actually made an entire channel devoted to Lyme disease, because here's what happened. I almost fainted. I almost died. My heart rate was down to 30 beats per minute. I'm not trying to be dramatic. I'm not trying to be crazy. It's just what it was. The doctor couldn't believe how low my heart rate was. My heart was getting attacked by the Lyme spirochete, and I was dying. So I had to that was basically a failure, because I don't remember getting bitten by a tick. I still to this day do not think that I got bitten by a tick. I believe that Lyme disease has a lot to do with our external realities, and it has a lot to do with what's going on around us and the positions that we're in and the food that we're eating and the lifestyle that we're living. And I was in a really bad place already at the point when I got diagnosed with Lyme disease. So long story short, I had to change my entire eating habits and change everything to the way that I knew would heal me from this disease. And I did. Changed everything. I ate a raw vegan diet. I ate only salads. And what happened was I healed myself using, diet, herbs. And, I was researching all these different herbs and spices and things that I could use to help my body heal itself. And I did. And so I wrote an ebook, and I started a YouTube channel, because that's what I do, right? I'm a marketer. I'm a person that tries to get attention and action, and I do everything in order to help people, and I want to build businesses, and I want to help people, and I want to show people the information that I know so that I can help as many people as possible. So I wrote an ebook, and I built a little website. I was giving the ebook away for free, and I started a YouTube channel where I was doing helpful videos about Lyme disease. You could also obviously see that YouTube channel. It's called Life, L-Y-F-E, Health and Wellness, and it's about Lyme disease, and it's just me basically talking about Lyme disease and giving away a free ebook. So what happened was I got over 500 subscribers on that channel. I got hundreds of people download the ebook. And even more importantly, and overwhelmingly so, I got tons and tons of positive, like, life-changing comments and messages of people saying that I've changed their life, that I've helped them open their eyes to a different way of healing, that I've showed them that they could make it too, that I showed them that they could live a healthy lifestyle. And it was literally the best thing that could have ever happened to me ever. So it's like two sides of the coin, because on one side I had such a bad failure and such a bad situation with my health, and I was dying, and I was feeling so terrible about myself, because here I was just a year or 2 or 3 or 4, whatever, earlier, like priding myself in how healthy I was and how I was eating healthy and stuff. And then just 5 years later, here I am with Lyme disease. And I'm in a terrible situation. My heart rate is way down. My heart isn't working the way that it should. and I just felt terrible about myself. But then after that, I was able to help so many more people, and it's like two sides of the coin, right? Like the really bad things that happen to us in our life can actually lead to really, really, really good things. So what happened from there was, I got hundreds of subscribers on different YouTube channels. As you've heard me talking today, you know that, I have 3 or 4 different channels, and you can find me all over YouTube. It's super easy to find me, I'm sure. Just type in Ryan Kearns and you can see all these different videos that I made. And realize this, all right? It's been 5 years, so today I'm much better at making a video, getting my point across, and having a conversation on camera than I was 5 years ago. 5 years ago, I obviously didn't know a lot of the things that I know today as far as cameras and as far as the content I was actually creating. So don't expect them to be amazing. They were very shitty videos. I didn't know what I was doing. I sucked. All right? But you can go check them out. I'm obviously not going to stop you. It's pretty cool that you can find me 5 years ago on YouTube. I've been at this for a really long time, and I pride myself in grinding and moving forward. But I wrote an ebook to help people with Lyme disease that has hundreds of downloads and success stories. Like I was just telling you, people started emailing me, commenting, messaging me on different platforms and telling me all types of crazy, amazing stories. And, it's like if I could just have more of one thing in my life, it would be that. It would be more people telling me how I've helped them and just getting that feel-good feeling. There's nothing more powerful and amazing in the world, and I love every second of it. So there's that, and I get to work from home doing what I love every single day and spending more time with my family. And, that's just, people they get a little bit jealous, or they get they want that too. And I completely understand that, because that's all I ever wanted almost the entire time I've been through this journey. And now I'm finally at that point where I can provide enough for my family that I can stay home. And I have 100% clarity on my vision and what I'm currently doing, which is love food lifestyle, right? I'm here to show you how to love food, love the body, and move forward, making the correct, healthy decisions for you, your body, your family, your future, right? And I'm here to inspire and connect other people to live a long, thriving, and vibrant lifestyle filled with energy and passion. And every single decision that I make comes down to that mission, that why, and that purpose. And that's why I'm here. So, you've probably heard me say that at least 10 times by now if you watch this channel, and you know that is why I'm doing any of this. It's got nothing to do with money. It's got nothing to do with fame. It's got nothing to do with attention or needing anything from anyone else. I really, really just want to give you guys as much value as possible. And I hope that this live presentation has shown you that failure is not a bad thing. Failure is what gets you to where you want to go, and failure can actually teach you really, really valuable lessons. It can open you up to try new things. If you're just not afraid of failure, if you just get rid of that fear of failure, you will try more things, you will do more things, and you'll be so glad that you did it. I failed at so much stuff. Like I said, guys, I showed you 4 stories today. That's nothing, right? Like I've done network marketing companies that didn't work. I've had so many different business ideas. What else did I do? Oh, I was trying to do like leadership coaching, and that didn't work. I tried selling books. That didn't work. I tried, selling all the stuff from my house. That stuff worked for a little bit and then didn't work. There's so many different things to try and do, and you're going to fail, and you need to know that you're going to fail, but you also need to know that it's worth the failure just as much as it's worth the success. Remember what I said in the beginning, it hurts more following your dreams and failing along the way hurts less than it would to not follow them at all and feel that regret when you're 90 years old in a nursing home hating your life because you didn't do the things that you knew you should have done. All right? And that's my biggest fear, and it really does help drive me forward in everything that I do. So now that I have 100% clarity on the fact that I'm going to be making amazing videos about a whole plant-based lifestyle, where I'm showing you what I eat in a day, what my family eats in a day, how, vegan lifestyle is amazing for everyone, and how eating whole plant-based foods can help reduce inflammation, allow you to live a longer, healthier lifestyle, and help you help the earth, help animals, and help you become the best version of yourself. That's what I'm here to do on this channel. And I'm just showing people, my philosophies around health and wellness. And I'm here to inspire people and connect people. And I have so many other big projects in the pipeline. So I'm super glad that you're here, and I can't wait to show you all the cool stuff I have, right? So failures are important. They built me up to where I am today. They helped me figure out what I truly want. So if you don't know what you want, just try and get rid of that fear of failure so you can try more things, and then you can figure out what you want, because you're not going to know until you start trying things. I thought that I wanted a math degree. I thought that I wanted to be a boiler inspector that, made 6 figures a year and had time off. Today, I know that that's further from the truth, right? Then after that, I thought that I wanted a health and wellness blog, and I was correct. That's the crazy part about that part of the story. If you think back, the very first thing that I did, once I realized, the very first thing that I really did was marketing. Like, I just fell in love with marketing. Once I realized that marketing was fun and that I could market anything that I wanted to do, the very first thing I did after that was start a health and wellness blog. And where am I today? Starting a health and wellness blog all over again. If I just stuck with that one thing, I would be so much further today than I could ever dream of being. But since I wouldn't trade it for the world, though, because I needed to be sure. I needed to know what I actually wanted to do so that I could commit years and years of my life to it, right? You want to be able to commit 5 to 10 years of your life to the thing that you truly want. And if you haven't tried anything else, then you don't actually know what you truly want. And if you went to the public school system in America, you probably don't know what you truly want. And I just really don't want people to live with regrets. And it's a big part of my mission and my purpose is to help people find their passion. And the last thing I want for you is for you to just get in line and do what everybody else does. I really want you to truly find yourself, truly find what you want to do with your life, and go out there and get it. All right. So what I did was I focused 5 years on just trying to find what the hell I wanted to do. It might sound insane to you right now. You might be thinking, I don't have 5 years. I don't have that kind of time, but you probably do. Especially if you're in your 20s or even in your teens, especially if you're in your teens. If you're in your 20s, you definitely have 5 years. Hell, if you're in your 30s, you definitely have 5 years. Stop letting people tell you that you don't have a lot of time, because you do. And we all need to learn to be more patient. That's one of my favorite parts of Gary Vee, and what he says is that we all need more patience. And I've really been trying to take that into account, because as you can tell, I quit on everything that I've ever done. So I really need to, deploy patience and buckle down and stay clear on what I want. And failures allowed me to find that clarity and that peace of mind of what I really, really want. And now I just go towards it and get closer to it every single day. And the failures also gave me life experiences that I wouldn't trade for anything, right? Bombing on stage in front of hundreds of people is worth a lot. It might not seem like it. Might seem like garbage. It might seem like something you never want to go through ever. But once you go through it, you realize you can live through that. There's a lot of other things that you can live through. So failure is just not scary anymore, and that allows me to take more action and try more amazing things. And it's really given me the power that I have today. And the failures taught me that the only true failure is quitting. So if you never quit, you will never fail. So, looking back, I called all those things failures because I quit them all. But the truth is, I never quit moving towards the one thing that I wanted in my life, and the thing that I still want, to be happy and successful and be able to spend a lot of time with my family. And as long as I'm moving towards that, and all those things that I did along the way were to try and figure out what was going to make me happy, what was going to make me feel fulfilled, what was going to give me what I truly wanted. And now I'm at a point where I finally understand what I truly want, what's going to make me truly happy, and what I'm going to do for the next 10 years of my life, at least. So yeah, it's super important. And these closing words I have here is just don't let the fear of failure cripple you from ever trying, right? Because that's the number one thing that could destroy everything you ever wanted, right? If you believe that you have the power to create your reality and create the world around you and do the things that you want to do and, follow your dreams and chase your dreams and become an amazing person, then just don't let that fear of failure cripple you. Realize that failure at trying is not as bad as never trying. And if you feel stuck, try new things and expect to fail. It's okay to fail. When I first started learning how to snowboard, I was only 8 years old. You know how long it took me? It took me like a year and a half before I could even do it correctly at all. And I failed the entire time up until then. Then one day it clicked and I got to do it really, really well. And then I got really, 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 really good at it. That's a whole other story. That's another failure story, is when I joined a snowboard competition just to find out everybody else in it was way better than me, and I came in last place, dead last place, right? We need to fail. We need to fail forward and move forward and learn that we are not the most important people on earth, and that failures are going to come, and we need to learn how to deal with that in order to become successful in the future. Right? These failures are what actually teach us to be successful. You cannot find me one successful person that says that they were always successful. They're going to tell you all of their failures as soon as you claim that they were successful their whole life. They will say, no, 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 no. You do not know me if you try to tell them that they were always successful. In fact, they've probably just failed more than the average person, and that's how they became successful. That's exactly what you need to do, is just start failing more so that you can become successful. And the more you fail, the better you'll become. Thank you. This is Ryan Kern's Love Food Lifestyle. Push that subscribe button below. Thank you for coming. Every Thursday, we're doing a long-form webinar-style training where I'm going to, let you in on a little bit of my life, share with you the stories, the tips, the tricks, the tactics to becoming successful, happy, and, live a long, thriving, vibrant lifestyle, right? It has a lot of different areas involved. It's not just about health and wellness on this channel. We talk about scheduling. We talk about energy. We talk about passion. We talk about, connecting with other people. I really want to talk about all of those amazing things and just becoming the best version of yourself. And so thank you for being here. I truly, truly appreciate you. I'm Ryan Kearns, and I'll see you soon.